I chose Zaha because I felt she was the most avant-garde architect. She's my favorite architect. She blends architecture and sculpture together. So it's like a hybrid of two areas, and she does it in such a beautiful, fluid, and curvaceous way that this was the style and language that I was looking for to create a concept for the worldwide stores and shop-in-shops. Yes, this is why I chose Zaha, because the idea of hybrid is exactly the theory behind my design ethic. I like to blend two areas together, whether, for example, the winter collection in the stores now is ski tuxedo, so you're mixing all the evening wear and maybe making the evening wear in ski fabrications, or ski garments made in tuxedo fabrications. So I like to blend two areas to create something that is new and not just take tuxedo and redo it, or just take ski and redo it, which many people do, but I think is like reworking the same idea, plagiarism. I prefer to try and mix something up to give it something new, a newer element. And I do that every season. There's an element in it. I wouldn't say it's the strongest. My main thing that I carry through always is tailoring, but I take a version of tailoring. I sort of cut it apart and use elements of tailoring in every single collection. Occasionally sport I would take in as the cutting with the tailoring. So it could be, well, you know, one season it may be sort of technical and racing, or another season, as I've done this time, skiing. It could be, but it's not the main element, it's always a secondary element. Very typical of myself. Yeah, the leather, the buffalo leather, the jeans, the sort of worn vintage t-shirts, the vintage jackets and suits are very much our iconic pieces. They're our bases. All the actors and musicians wear them. It's all our traditional, all our clientele base really wears that type of thing. It comes back every season for it. It's just about designing something that's very masculine. It's essentially masculine and very, it's like owning a vintage garment, buying a new vintage garment. So it's like you don't have to look in the second-hand stores to find it. You're finding a vintage garment, but we don't make it fit badly as a vintage garment normally does. We make it fit into the size, a little body conscious, so it's a little bit slim. But we make it in such a way that the garment actually molds to your body. By doing this, that's why people come back, because the garment's going to fit into their body and it takes their shape. So we're not restrictive, and the way we use the fabrications is studied to make it that the garment fits around you, molds around your body. And I think that's part of our success. Yeah, I find those type of garments very, very typical and very how people imagine you're about to be is based on leather to start with, and then onto the tailoring, the age tailoring. What I'm kind of very known for is the idea, and what I think people like what I do and continually buy, is the idea of apparent simplicity. From a distance, my clothing looks apparently simple. It's like a navy jacket, a grey pant, a black leather jacket, and they're apparently simple. But when you get close, you see all the detailing. You see all the detailing, you see the cut, you maybe see a garment inserted in another garment, the double collars, double fastenings, and the beauty of the make, because obviously the make is incredible, the fabrication is beautiful quality. And it's that apparent simplicity which makes it wearable. But the interest when you get close, which makes them buy it. And that's, in a certain way, is how I chose the Zaha was for the same reasons. It looks apparently simple. The colors are very simple. The finish the hand is very tactile. But when you get close to it, you actually see how amazing the engineering is, and the pure the complexity of the design and the make. You can appreciate from close. So I felt it was a good balance of finding her style and the Neil Barrett style, putting them together. Now, when I asked Zaha to do the project, we talked about a concept. We talked about the fact that you will be in many different buildings throughout the world. It could be a modern building, it could be a shell, a square shell like this one in Tokyo, in Oyama. It could be an Art Deco building in London, on Bond Street, or you know, a 19th century building in Paris, or downtown in New York. It could be many different buildings. And what I wanted to do was try and keep the shell as it is and not change it, to respect the old and the rough of the real shell, and then put something super modern with her design within the space. So she suggested this idea of a sculpture furniture, which was practical. We could display merchandise on it, and it could fit into anywhere in the world. It made no difference. And so this is how it grew from the first day, the idea of having a sculpture furniture, which could be just the same in the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, or it could be in the Neil Barrett store in Oyama. But at the same time, in Oyama, it would have products on it. In the Guggenheim, it would just be a simple, beautifully sort of linear, curved sculpture piece in Korean. So we're trying to finding a balance, and I think we found a very successful balance here. And we have 2 sculptures on the ground floor, 3 sculptures, including this fantastic bench, and all the stools in the changing rooms. And then in December, we'll be opening the ladies' floor with 2 other very curvaceous, lot more feminine shapes.